Everybody, John Van Dyke here for New Jersey Exposed. Today is Monday, January 30th, 2023. Time is 11:58 a.m. Jersey time. All right, well, we got a real disgusting story here. Another story related to violence. You know, their number one crimes they like to do is violence against women and violence against children, the weakest of our society, right? All right, this is reported on the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. That's jsonline.com. This came out on January 20, 2023. Milwaukee police officer charged with child abuse. There it is. Well, ask yourself, what kind of child abuse you think it is? I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, oh my God, this guy molested the kid. Well, not quite. Let's find out what this well-trained professional hero, you know, the type they're always out there risking our lives as they protect and serve the government, has been up to. A Milwaukee police officer was charged Friday with felony child abuse after his infant daughter arrived at a hospital with fractured ribs and a lacerated liver. Martinez, it's, I don't know, Martinesc, V. McDaniel, 30, faces 2 counts of physical abuse of a child. McDaniel, who was off duty at the time, told investigators he performed CPR on the infant after she appeared to be choking and stopped breathing, court records show. According to the criminal complaint, McDaniel's 2-month-old daughter was taken to the hospital January 14th by the Milwaukee Fire Department. Doctors at Children's Wisconsin diagnosed the infant with bleeding on the brain. McDaniels told police the infant became fussy after feeding, so he used a bicycle technique of slowly pumping her legs to alleviate gas. While he did that, the child took a sharp gasp and then stopped breathing. He said he performed CPR in panic, shook the child 3 to 4 times. The child's mother returned home about 7:30 a.m. after dropping off an older child off at school sports events and walked into the house to hear McDaniel shouting, "Call 911, she's not breathing." The woman called 911. She later told investigators the infant was healthy when she left that morning and the child had experienced no accidental falls to drop. So here we go. We got another badge bunny learning the hard way, and the child is paying the price. Judy Gwynn, a pediatrician who specializes in child abuse cases, examined the infant and diagnosed the child with a brain injury, hemorrhaging, rib fractures, a liver laceration, bruising to the chest, and other injuries. Gwynn concluded the infant was a victim of child abuse and abusive head trauma. The criminal complaint noted that McDaniel had a surveillance camera inside his house and provided 12 hours of footage to the investigators, but the period between 7 and 8 a.m. on January 14th was missing. McDaniel is the subject of an open and ongoing internal investigation. Milwaukee police said he's on paid suspension. Isn't that nice? He's on paid suspension. McDaniel was hired in 2016 and was paid nearly $83,000 in 2021. This is why your taxes are so high. Your taxes are high and crime is high. We keep hiring them, paying them more, but nothing seems to go down, does it? Well, I know exactly what's going on because I've reported on these stories before. I've read these stories before. And what happens is the child starts, you know, anybody out there's had a kid. I've had a kid. And when they're infants like that, they start crying and you don't know, they can't communicate. You don't know what the problem is. And all you can do is hold them and hope for the best. And you know, maybe take an Advil to try to get through it. But this is not an uncommon story that I've heard before where the kid is freaking out. The guy, you know, he's a police officer. And what do I always say about him? They always resort to violence to solve a problem. And violence is what he did. He probably shook that kid. Stop crying, as if that's going to stop the child from crying, right? You know, a little 2-year-old can't even, a little 2-month-old can't even hold his head. His head's just going around like that. And to say that he tried to perform CPR, now I took a CPR course and they showed us how to do CPR on a child. And you don't go down like that. You go like that with your thumbs, if I'm correct on it. It's been a while since I took the course, but so this guy shook the shit out of this kid and probably punched the kid or smacked the kid in the head. And maybe he was trying to do the CPR. Who knows? Because you push down, you can't break ribs. I would think a child, a baby of that age, the ribs would be very flexible. but who knows? But the ribs can't break. But I suspect 100% this guy did what he did, and it comes back to how can you even do something like that to a small child? It's just I'm just boggled by that. The lack of empathy that the people who commit these violent things on children, the lack of empathy. It's a psychopath is what it is. They don't feel the pain of other people. This is your own flesh and blood, a baby girl no less. And I have a daughter, so I can I can relate to this thing. How can you do that to your daughter like that? It's just, and this is what's running around out there with a badge and a gun, and it just comes back to what I'll keep saying. These cops have no empathy. They lack it. They are devoid. They are dead inside, these bad cops. I don't know if he's a bad cop. He's a bad cop because he did what he did. He's supposed to be trained. He should know how these things are handled. The minute the child is choking, he should have been on the phone calling 911. Hey, get somebody over. My child is choking. I'm going to see what I can do to help the child. No, he doesn't do that. He's busy covering up. That's what he did. He beat that little girl up, and that poor little girl, hopefully she's going to be okay, not have any brain damage or anything like that. And, she's young like that. She's not going to remember anything. But, the betrayal, that's what I see more than anything. The betrayal of a parent to a child. And that is sickening. And I hope they put him in prison for some time and put him in the general population so he can get a taste of life, what it's like to be around other people who solve problems with violence. And it was just hope for the best, pray that this little girl's going to be okay, and hopefully this badge bunny has learned a lesson and she's not going to take this creep back. And if she does, she belongs in jail, and they need to take the kids away from her. So anyway, very disgusting story. Another story with violence. Because violence is the number one problem in law enforcement, whether they're on the job or off the job. I'm John Van Dyke. Till next time.